Hello, everyone, and welcome to Catholic Truth Family, your one-stop shop to know about love, relationships, dating, engagement, marriage, children, and life. And in this video, we're going to be giving you some vital advice for marriage. If you're already married, that'll be one thing, but if you're not, listen up. And this is just vital life advice that you need to know, because many people wrongly assume that once they get married, if they could just get married, then they will be happy. They'll finally have all of their problems answered. Their worries and woes will be over. They're not going to be lonely anymore. They're not going to be heartbroken anymore. They'll just be happy for the rest of their life. And if you have this image that this is how marriage is going to be, it's going to solve all your problems, it's going to devastate you in the future, and you're going to be majorly disappointed, because a lot of the problems, and here's part of the advice, a lot of the problems that we bring into marriage, we think that they're going to go away. We think they're going to be solved. When we get married, they're just going to go away. Everything's going to be great. That's not the way it works. The problems you bring into marriage are going to affect your marriage. Yeah, I can't state this enough. I can't overstate this enough. The problems you bring into your marriage, the issues you have, the baggage, it's going to affect your marriage negatively, very negatively. These problems don't go away just because we get married. Like, they might be lessened. They might go away for a time. They might be put away in a little box, but they're still there unless we work on them, unless we resolve them, which is why it's so important, if you do have some baggage, you do have issues, that you work on them before you get married. And the more you do, the happier your marriage will be, the more beneficial it'll be, the more you can love and be loved in return. For example, if you're someone who struggles with anxiety, and you just want to find someone so you can find that happiness and peace, you might find that for a little while in a relationship. The birds are chirping, you have butterflies in your stomach, it's a bright sunny day every day, you're in love, everything's going great, you feel happy, but you didn't deal with your anxiety. It's only going away because you feel happy. But what happens when the relationship has troubles, has issues? You have a fight. There's things that go on, or your spouse has to leave for work on a trip, or has to go away in the army. Do these things come back? Of course they do, especially when you have troubles in marriage, which every marriage has. Not only will these things come back, but they oftentimes come back much worse, and you feel alone amplified. You feel anxious amplified. You feel these things and they come back. Many people buy the lie that I won't be lonely in marriage. That's garbage. Bishop Fulton Sheen said that in marriage, you're going to have the highest of heights of happiness and love that you didn't think you could experience. It's going to be so high, you don't think that you could get any higher. He said you're also going to experience lows that are so low that you're going to feel so empty and dried out, and you're going to wonder if you even married the right person. You're going to go through really deep, difficult times in your marriage. These dark times are to remind us that God alone can fill our hearts. There's a God-shaped hole in our heart that only He can fill. Our spouse cannot be our savior. They cannot fix our problems. They can temporarily mask them. You can grow together as people and grow in Christ and work on them, and that's a good thing. But as I said, the more you work on these things before marriage, really work on them, maybe even go to counseling, get help, read self-help books, but do the work, the much happier, better, long-term marriage you are going to have. Again, if you struggle with something like sexual addiction or pornography or something like that, and then you find this wonderful girl and you just are so in love with her and you want to treat her right and she inspires you to be better and you don't look at that stuff anymore, great, but you didn't deal with the addiction. It's actually still there. It's under the surface. And after time, when things start getting stale or maybe getting boring, guess what's going to start creeping back into your relationship, which actually will destroy it, which is why we need to deal with these things beforehand. These things don't go away just because someone makes us better. Same way that, if someone's not a very nice person, they don't have a lot of valor, they don't do good very often, but all of a sudden someone comes into their life and they just are so inspired, this person makes them want to be better. That's a good thing. But it only lasts so long. That feeling only lasts so long before it goes away and you return to who you were, if you don't make the necessary steps to extricate those things out of your life, to get rid of those things out of your life that were bad, and make definitive steps to become a better person. These things always come back in our life. And this is my point, is that you don't want to mask them. Don't buy the lie that, oh, the relationship is just fixing all of this. No, it's a mask. It's a Band-Aid. It's temporary. And these things are whole marriages have been destroyed because people didn't either realize their baggage and it came out in marriage, or they did realize it, but they thought, oh, I'm in love now. It'll be okay. It'll be great. No, it always comes out and it destroys everyone around you. They say love brings out all your crap. And it's true. The more you fall in love with someone, the more your garbage comes out. Garbage coming out isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing because you get the garbage out and hopefully you reinstate it and replace it with virtue, good habits, loving habits, that sort of thing. When it's bad, when it comes out, it's when it's in marriage or in a relationship and it just comes out all over the person. Sometimes people have addictions, and this is why you really need to know the person that you're dating, that you're engaged to, that you're going to marry, or that you are married to. You have to know them beforehand because many people put on a great act. They're actually one person who has many of these issues, but they don't seem like they do because they're so happy and they're someone who's not themselves and they're actually social for once, but then they go back and they have major social issues. They don't want to party with anyone. They don't want to have parties at the house. And the person you married, you have buyer's regret. You don't even know who they are sometimes. So you have to know, monitor, and watch the person you are dating and pick up on warning signs and red flags. Don't ignore them. If you ignore them, they will be to your own detriment. And that's one of the reasons you need to work on yourself too. As I said, the more you work on yourself, the better it's going to be. But you also want to make sure that the person you're dating is really who they are, not that they're hiding things. And everybody hides things to an extent. We put our best foot forward, but some people hide things that you don't want to ignore. There are warning signs in people's lives that when you look back, you're like, yeah, they did have those. And I either didn't see it or I didn't want to see it. If you're idealizing this person and everything is perfect, wake up, red flag. And if you are married and you do have buyer's regret or issues have come out in your marriage, I'm going to make a whole video on this because my wife and I had major problems for 3 or 4 years in our marriage. It was the kind that end marriages, like hell and back. And all of her issues and baggage came out. And we had to deal with that. And it wasn't pretty. And it destroyed me in many ways. And so we had to work through that. And so you don't want to do that. Get the help you need. And if you are in marriage, get the help you need. Don't let these things destroy love. And they can destroy love. They can destroy a love that's there. Don't despair, though, if love is destroyed, if you feel far away from your spouse. There's whole weekends called Retrovi, which is called like the miracle retreat. And it has brought couples back who never, ever thought they would love each other again. They thought they were done for good. They go away on these Retrovi weekends and they come back restored, renewed, better than ever, stronger than ever. Check out the videos on this channel. Julie Loyne, she talked about the problems she had with her husband and the difficulties they were going through. They got marital counseling. Now they're better than ever, happier than ever, more in love than ever. Their marriage is great because they fixed the issues. So number one, see the issues beforehand. Deal with them, your own, and make sure other people don't have major character flaws as well. Everyone has flaws. Everyone has issues, but make sure they're not the marriage ending kind, the really kind that you don't want in a marriage. There's a book called Boundaries in Dating, and chapter 9 talks about things you can live with and things you should never live with. Kristalina Everett also talks about this as well. Number 2, work on your stuff. Get the help you need. And number 3, don't idealize marriage. Don't idealize relationships. Don't idealize love. Once I get married, I just won't be lonely anymore. Yes, you will. And that's not a bad thing, because it's through these things that we find God deeper. We find the purpose and meaning of life. We don't treat our spouses as an idol, and we become better people, stronger people, if we navigate them properly. So stay tuned to all the videos on this channel if you want to learn how to navigate life, relationships, and marriage properly. Check out our other videos and check out our show notes below. Follow us for daily inspiration on our social media below. Thanks for watching, and God bless.